Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's pushing the word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Ramak from Great Millstone, Miami, and just want to do a video on why we call Esau, the so-called white man, the devil. You know, I was looking on YouTube and seeing all the videos brothers and put in from different subjects to, different medical experiments that they did on our people, to slavery, to iconoclasm, whitewashing our images, to, things that they did to the earth, and unrighteous decrees, usury, all the wicked deeds of Esau, the so-called white man. And I just wanted to throw something in on the table too, as far as Esau and going back to the Roman days, how he used to have his Roman games, in the amphitheater or in the Colosseum, and they would kill these animals, and I also want to fast forward to more recent times to him, killing animals over here, the bisons in America, and just hunting for sport, period, killing off animals and even making some of them extinct. So Lord willing, this be an edifying video. This article I got up right here is, this word right here is Venatio or Venatio. And it was a type of entertainment in Roman amphitheaters involving the hunting and killing of wild animals. So just by reading those three lines, it's already off, man. That means you're hunting and killing animals for entertainment in amphitheaters, which is wickedness, which is destroying the earth, destroying the nature. And that's how Esau get down, stuff that he still do to this day. That's the nature of the so-called white man. He is the abomination of desolation. Wherever he is, it's the border of wickedness. Wherever he is, he makes stuff desolate. He kills the earth. Now let me continue reading. Exotic wild beasts from the far reaches of the Roman Empire were brought to Rome, and hunts were held in the morning prior to the afternoon main event of gladiatorial duels. So you'll have your main event, but before then, in these, games or events, they will have the huntings in which they will hunt animals, wild animals from the far reaches of the Roman Empire. And we know the Roman Empire was a vast empire, And today we're in the rebirth of the Roman Empire, and it's a vast empire, the so-called white man's rulership. Now let me continue reading. It says the hunts were held in the Roman Forum, the Septa, and the Circus Maximus. Though none of these venues offered protection to the crowd from the wild animals on display, special precautions were taken to prevent the animals from escaping these venues, such as the erection of barriers and digging of ditches. Very few animals survived these hunts, though they did sometimes defeat the bestiarius or hunter of wild beasts. So very few animals survived these hunts. They knew they was getting these hunts basically to kill them for entertainment, Thousands of wild animals would be slaughtered in one day. This is on Wikipedia. This ain't on no little, website. You got to question the source. This is out there, man. This information is out there. Esau is the devil, man. He even document his stuff. He's proud of it. During the inauguration of the Colosseum, over 9,000 animals were killed. So in the inauguration of the Colosseum, which we know about, over 9,000 animals were killed, which means it could have been way more than that, but 9,000 just in the inauguration. That's wickedness. That's why we call him the devil. He is the devil. We call him the devil because he is the devil. And these are just some of his exploits, man, as being that devil, Now, for information and edification's sake, I want to go to Colosseum because I read this early, and brothers should see it. It's not so much directly dealing with the animals, but check this out. Here it is. Construction was funded of the Colosseum by the opulent spoils taken from the Jewish temple after the great Jewish revolt in 70 AD led to the siege of Jerusalem. And that's our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We the true Israelites. And the true Jews were the Southern Kingdom, and that's so-called blacks. You know, this information is important to us because the siege of Jerusalem, which Esau came and sieged Jerusalem and killed and slaughtered our people, it funded this Colosseum in which, you know, they would use to kill more of our people. So let me continue reading. According to a reconstructed inscription found on the site, the Emperor Vespasian ordered this new amphitheater to be erected from his general's share of the booty. You know, Vespasian, Titus, Vespasian, Domitian, that was the Flavian dynasty. And those was the ones, you know, who came and did that slaughter in Jerusalem. And they built up the Colosseum. They built up the Ark of Titus, commemorating the siege of Jerusalem. Let me continue reading. Along with the spoils, estimated 100,000 Jewish prisoners were brought back to Rome after the war. And many contributed to the massive workforce needed for construction. So they seized Jerusalem, you know, used our goods, you know, and our treasures to help build it up, and use our people as the prisoners to actually build it up. And we know that they use our people to be in those fights, you know, against these animals, in these duels against each other, you know. The slaves undertook manual labor, such as working in the quarries at Tivoli, where the travertine was quarried, along with lifting and transporting the quarried stones 20 miles from Tivoli to Rome. Yeah, man, Esau got a lot to pay for. This is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. This is the devil that the Bible speaks of, you know. But let's go back to this article in Venatio. And I felt brothers should read that, should hear that information. But let me read this little part right here. Right here. It says, during the reign of Augustus Caesar, the circus games resulted in the death of 3,500 elephants. And that's Esau's nature. He's a hunter. He's a killer. He doesn't care about the earth. Let's get a scripture. This is Genesis chapter 25. And I'm going to read verses 21 through 27 because we exposing this Edomite, man. We exposing this devil, which is the Edomites, which means red. He's Esau. He's a so-called white man. That's who he is. He's not white. He's actually red. His blood show forth through his skin. So Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And that's talking about our people, the Israelites. And the elder shall serve the younger. And that's talking about Esau, Edom, who will come out. Verse 24. And when her days will be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out, the elder, came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And Esau mean wasted away is he, because his skin pigment was wasted away. He came out red because he had no skin pigment, and his blood showed forth through his skin. And that's the so-called white man today. That was the Romans back in those days, and that's them today. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, Salakia. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. In verse 27, here's a point too. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So that's Esau. Esau is into hunting, and he does it for sport. He does it for entertainment, you know. Let's go to another little article. And the name of this, the title of this article is 10 Cruel and Unusual Facts About the Colosseum's Animal Fights. And this is a good article to read. I read this years ago, actually. I used it for a little paper that I actually made in its truth. But let's go to number 9 for the sake of this video. The fighting killed off whole species. You know? The sheer quantity of slaughter in the Colosseum saw the number of lions, jaguars, and tigers plummet across the globe. So they were bringing these animals, these wild animals, who are supposed to be in their natural habitat, They was bringing them from all over the globe, bringing them to Rome to have them fight and be slaughtered in the Colosseum. These were decisions made by the Romans, by the so-called white man. According to some, Roman hunting absolutely devastated the wildlife of North Africa and the entire Mediterranean region, wiping some species of animal off the map entirely. For example, after one particularly brutal set of games in which 9,000 animals were slaughtered, the hippo disappeared from the river Nile. Yes, Esau made the hippo disappear from the Nile. That's Esau. That's the devil. That's why we call him the devil. And he glorifies Rome. He glorifies his Roman Empire. He makes movies about it. He glorifies the Caesars. Creatures like the North African elephant, which was also commonly used as a war elephant during the time, were wiped off the face of the earth completely. So they used them for war and used them so much that they wiped them off, having no consideration or wherewithal to preserve the animals. Esau doesn't care about nature. He doesn't. He will slaughter everything. He'll let you be homosexuals. That's against nature. Esau is he's death. He's the devil. And some people, they'll be like, oh, that's in Rome. That was thousands of years ago. First of all, they still doing it now. But it goes to show that they the Romans. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse chapter 3 through 9. And it reads, let no man deceive you. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 through 9. And it reads, let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And what is that day? The day that the Lord come back and he deliver the children of Israel that he promised to do. And there had to be a falling away first. Our heritage had to be taken away from us. And that fulfilled the prophecy in Jeremiah 17, chapter 4, Hosea chapter 4 and 6. In other prophecies, Verse 4. And that's man of sin being revealed, the son of perdition, is why this video is being made, why several other videos made these videos on why we call Esau the devil. And through the spirit, the men of Great Millstone has been, starting with our apostles on down, been exposing this Edomite and even their elders, exposing the so-called white man. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's a son of perdition. Would the man of sin. He's Edom. And the Lord hates him. He's the board of wickedness, and the Lord is going to destroy him. So that day of the Lord would not come lest he be revealed. And that's why we got to go out on the streets and make these videos and expose him. Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's Esau. He's proud, and he acts like he's God. He say go to the moon and set up satellites and say he could do a space force, and that's Esau, man. He makes unrighteous decrees totally contrary to the Bible. Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. This is Apostle Paul speaking. Verse 6, and now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. And this is the time that he's being revealed. The Lord put the spirit on these Edomites to make this YouTube, to make the internet, which for his sake he shouldn't have did. Esau shouldn't have did, but the Lord made him do it because the world is made for our sakes. So we could gain this truth and then make these videos by the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and expose them. And that's what's happening. Because we are in the very last days. Now, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Now, who was ruling at the time that Apostle Paul wrote this epistle? The Romans. The mystery of iniquity does already work. Yeah, because not only were they oppressing our people, Apostle Paul knew who they were. They was doing these things. Building the Colosseum, killing off the animals, using them for sport, slaughtering all type of peoples. It's just in these times, the Lord set it up to where we able to expose them, man. Verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the Lord is going to destroy Esau. And right now, it's beginning with the Lord having his men prophesy against his kingdom, telling everybody that America finna be destroyed. It's finna burn from nuclear fire and fire from Yahweh's chariots, from sea to shining sea. Other places on the earth is going to be destroyed. And Esau, he's going to go down completely. And those of them who survive, they will go straight into slavery. They're going to go in chains. In verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Because, Esau would do these games to show his power. It's after the working of Satan. And you see on this bronze medallion depicting the fight between a man and a wild animal, doing it just for sport. That's after the working of Satan, man. That's after the working of Satan. This 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. So yeah, for this article, the Colosseum, the inauguration when they killed 9,000, and that went on, But that, somebody say, oh, that happened all those years ago. That's like 2 days to the Lord. They got to pay for all of that. Esau got a lot to pay for. But if somebody want to say that, hey, Salaki, I had it on airplane mode. Let's check out killing animals for sport. Little one to come up. Right. Let's just type in killing animals for sport on Google and go to images. And look at what we have here. Dead animals. And who is it? Esau, the so-called white man. Look at him. That's Esau. Eat him. Look at it. Look at her in the middle. She's red. Skin pigment is red. Look at him on the right. He's red. Look at this. It's Esau. Look at the elephant, man. This is disgusting. Look at this on the right. Right here. The trophies. Killing deer. Look at this. Esau. Look at this. Giraffes. Come on, man. Esau got to pay for this, man. This is why we call him the devil. Look at this, man. Esau is at the bottom of all of this, man. He's at the bottom of all of this destruction on the earth. He's proud of it. Look at him smiling. That's what they do. That is what they do. It's disgusting, man. He does it for sport and entertainment. Now, let's go to this article real quick. Let's see how Esau even tries to justify it, make excuses. The title of this article is Trophy Hunting Fees Do Little to Help Threatened Species, report says. Let me just read a couple parts out of here. Try not to make it long. Advocates of trophy hunting and even the United States government have long justified the killing of protected wildlife in Africa by saying that taxes and fees from the hunts help pay for larger conservation efforts. Are you serious? So to help conserve the animals, you're saying you should kill them and do the taxes and fees? And it's a whole bunch of BS, man. Esau's the devil. This is why we call him the devil, man. He's a sly devil, but he's a proud devil. But a new report by the Democratic staff of the House Natural Resources Committee challenges those claims, finding little evidence that the money is being used to help threatened species. Of course it ain't, man. It's the devil that we talking about. You know what? I'm gonna skip down. This is a good, article to read for some more information. Be honest, I didn't read through it all, but it's some stuff in here. And I just want to get a couple more parts right here. Esau like to justify it and say, oh, he gonna charge fees and he gonna do this act for the endangered species. But check this out. The Endangered Species Act says hunted trophies can be brought to the United States only if they do not contribute to the extinction of a species. So you could kill them if it don't contribute to the extinction. Killing them contributes to the extinction. That standard is not always met, the report says, and it recommends that the Fish and Wildlife Service improve its permitting process so that only trophies that actually enhance the survival of species are allowed into the country. This is all a whole bunch of BS, but I'm going to get this little part on Lord willing move on. It reads, the service has the authority to require an import permit for any species listed as threatened or endangered. In 2014, the agency suspended imports of elephant trophies from Tanzania, Zimbabwe because of catastrophic population declines. Yeah, because they kept killing them. But according to the study, it has been reluctant to use this authority to restrict other trophy imports that do not meet the standard on protecting species. The agency has also used special rules to exempt from permitting requirements many imports of animals listed under the Endangered Species Act, the report says. For the species covered in the House report, the Fish and Wildlife Service required only one import permit from 2010 to 2014. So they only require one import permit for 4 to 5 years. Though more than 2,700 trophies eligible for permitting were imported during that time. For the 1,469 leopard trophies that could have required an import permit, the agency required none. So you mean to tell me in the span of 4 to 5 years, about 1,500 leopard trophies they killed? This is Esau, the Edomite man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. They wonder why we call him the devil. Check this out. Why America wouldn't be America without this mountain of skulls? See, we went to Rome, and now we get in the modern days. This one startling photo captures the horrifying extent of the buffalo slaughter carried out by early settlers of the American West. Check that out. Look at all them skulls. Those are buffalo skulls. Look at him. Look at the size of the man. Look at all of that, man. That's thousands. Look at him up top. They came over here to America to kill our people, the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Latinos, which are Israelites. The tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Issachar, and so forth and so on. But especially in North America, especially in the American West, dealing with these buffaloes, man. Look at this. They did this to get at to ultimately get at the so-called Native Americans. The American bison was once the symbol of a vast, limitless country filled with seemingly endless land and equally endless opportunity. But American settlers soon ensured that the bison will ultimately symbolize the dark, ugly side of manifest destiny. Yeah, manifest destiny should be changed to manifest destruction or manifest death. Estimates of how many bison used to roam the Midwest before European settlers moved in range from 30 to 60 million. Native Americans once lived in harmony with these migratory herds while using the bison for food, their hides for clothing and shelter, and their bones for tools and weapons. So the Native Americans actually used them, to eat, to clothe them, for tools and weapons, not for sport. But the American settlers advancing from the east were hungry for more land and more resources, greedy as Edomites, including bison. Hunters on cross-country trains would even take aim at the wild creatures from their windows and shoot down several at a time. The hunting train would then slow to a stop for people to skin the animals for coats or cut out their tongues for culinary delicacies in the cities along the eastern seaboard. Unlike the Native Americans, these hunters left the rest of the bison to rot. That's Esau. He's a devil. He's disgusting. Check this out, and then we'll move on, Lord willing. Overall, between 1800 and 1900, the bison population was brought down from the estimated 30 to 60 million to approximately 325. Wow. While more exact statistics on the amount of bison killed by settlers are hard to come by, the full scope of the problem can be glimpsed in the numbers from one railroad company. 500,000 bison hides shipped east between just 1872 and 1874. In 2 years, 2 to 3 years, 500,000 hides. Boy, I tell you. Bison hunting. Let's skip down to bison population crash and its effect on indigenous people. Following the Civil War, the U.S. had ratified roughly 400 treaties with the Plains Indians, but went on to break many of these as the westward movement ensued. Yeah, because Esau is a treaty breaker. He's a truce breaker. He's a covenant breaker. The bison population crash represented a loss of spirit, land, and autonomy for most indigenous people at the time, because Esau knew what he was doing. He's a crafty devil. He's a devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, he's a devil. He plays his part. Loss of land. Much of the land delegated to indigenous tribes during its westward expansion were barren tracts of land far from any buffalo herds. So Esau did treaties and made the lands to where the so-called Native Americans, what they could have, made it far from the buffalo that they knew that they depended on. These reservations were not sustainable for natives who relied on bison for food. One of these reservations was the Sand Creek Reservation in southeastern Colorado. The nearest buffalo herd was over 200 miles away. And many Cheyennes began leaving the reservation, forced to hunt livestock of nearby settlers and passing wagon trains, man. So Esau knew what he was doing, man. He did that to oppress our people. So he kills animal for sport, for entertainment. The devil, man. You know? Here's another article real quick. Kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. The American bison is a new U.S. national mammal, but its slaughter was once seen as a way to starve Native Americans into submission. So we ain't just out on the streets talking, man. Esau, the so-called white man, is our enemy. He's our born and sworn enemy. And he's a devil that the Bible speaks of. He's an enemy of the earth. He's an enemy of the Heavenly Father. He's an enemy of nature. Check this out. I just want to go down straight to the part. Yeah, read right here. One colonel 4 years earlier had told a wealthy hunter who felt a shiver of guilt after he shot 30 bulls in one trip, kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. I don't have to go so much into this article, because shoot, man. Esau's just the devil, man. He's saying kill every buffalo. Let me read it again. Kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, because the Lord is going to give his saints and his prophets, those that do the work in truth and sincerity, calling out our enemies and doing our best to wake up the elect of our people. The Lord is going to give his men that reward. Lord willing, we are those men, us brothers who's sincere about this thing, man, taking it seriously. And it says, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. The Lord's going to destroy Esau, the devil, for destroying the earth. And we calling it out. The Bible calls it out, and the Lord got his prophets proclaiming it for the world to hear. He has an ear, let him hear. And with that, I hope this is edifying, to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect. Shalom.